Hello, my name is Carrie Louie, and I'm an LIS student at Wayne State University, and I am here with Wei Tsai, who is a regional manager of Seattle Public Library. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself and your role and your background?
Sure. My name is Wei Tsai. I'm the regional manager for Southeast Seattle, which include 5 branches, and International District Chinatown branch, Beacon Hill branch, Columbia branch, New Holly branch, and Rainier Beach branch, 5 branches. In our region, we serve the highest number of high needs patrons and marginalized populations. So our librarians really work very hard to try their best to serve this population.
And how many days a week would you say you spend at each branch, or is there kind of a routine?
It's hard to say if I have a routine. I do have some routine because I have 18 direct reports, and because I manage so many locations, it's important for me to provide a face-to-face time. So I have one-on-one meetings with every director reports, which is 18 of them, so times 2, 36 hours meeting in a month. So I meet them in one-on-one, and also I don't have a set schedule. Some days I go in one branch and stay there, like today. I'm at the Beacon Hill branch for all day. Sometimes I have to hop around 3 different locations, sometimes 2 locations, sometimes 4 locations. But in terms of how many locations I will work at in any given day or any week, I cannot predict. It depends where it needed me most.
Okay.
So, but I do have, one-on-one meetings. I also attend monthly. Each branch has a monthly staff meeting. I attend those meetings. And then I also have every other week my management team meeting. Management team is comprised of me and 2 supervising librarians and 3 assistant managers who do not have MLS degrees. They just responsible for operations in the facilities or equipment and things like that. But I supervise librarians directly and direct their work on program design, community engagement, that kind of work.
Okay, and how long have you been a manager?
Since 2011. I has been a regional manager since 2011. Prior to that, I was a branch manager, and I only managed 2 branches at that time. And then prior to that, I was a system-wide adult services manager, oversees the services initiatives for adults. What our adult librarians can do for the community. My philosophy, my style is relationship. I'm a relationship-based manager. I want to know, I'm not a micromanager, which means I need to know what my direct reports are doing in terms of how much time they spend on the service desk in the building, how much time they can do programs, how much time they can do community engagement. I want to know what they are doing, but how they're doing it, I think I trust them. They're professionals. They know how to go about doing their work. If they have expressed in my one-on-one meetings, they need some guidance, I will connect. If I could provide that guidance, I do. But if I cannot, I will connect librarian with service manager. We have a service manager for youth services. We have a service manager for adult services. So I will connect. So my philosophy is relationship based. I want everyone who I directly supervise trust my integrity about my wholeheartedness in support role. I'm at their service. What they need me, they tell me, they do. because I'm emphasizing that they can trust me, they can say anything. The one-on-one meeting is absolutely safe place to say anything. Yeah, I keep the confidentiality. So my style is hands-on, but not micromanaging.
That's a great style.
Yeah.
I'm sure they appreciate that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and also, it's very, how should I, what's the adjective? Very interesting for me because every meeting when I first got into this position, I introduce myself to everyone that English is not my is not my native language. English is my second language. So I tell them I'm a native Chinese speaker. I say in my language, in my native language, pronouns, when we speak it, pronouns, it doesn't matter, it's she, he, or it, is all pronounced the same. So if I, in any kind of conversation or any setting, if I misuse the pronouns, please don't feel offended. That's on my onboarding document. I make sure I tell people because I don't want to offend people.
Yeah.
I am really a relationship-based person, but I also is a result-based manager as well. I want to have a relationship with my direct reports because we know we work together, we have mutual trust, mutual respect, because we can reach this result. Our end result is excellent service for our community.
And how do you measure excellent service?
I want to know, because at the library, Seattle Public Library, we have a couple of initiatives. One is racial and social justice initiative. We want people, when they have some ideas to do programs, I want them to think about, why do you want this program? Who can most benefit program? Why do you know this program can benefit this population? That we have RSJI. Along with that, we also have equity, and equity lens to examine everything we do. Yeah, from implementing different policies, restroom use, slippers, fine waivers, and all that. We need to make sure that librarians have that in their mindset. We're serving the population that need us most. How can we do better in that regard? Well, RSJI, that's one thing. Another thing the library is emphasizing is OBPE, if I got that right, is outcome-based outcome-based program design and evaluation, OBPE. Sometimes a tongue mouthful. So when I talk to people, if they presenting the programs or presenting community engagement activities, I said, what's your outcome that you're looking for? Mm-hmm. Thinking about outcome is like a backward thinking. This is, you heard because of your ongoing community engagement activities or showing up at community events, you know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So you think this program will be helpful. Now, what's your outcome? State your outcome, because we also have a system in place to help librarians to think that way. Oh. When we talk about OBPE, we have outcome-based evaluation. What is the outcome? Mm-hmm. What is the task that will help you get that outcome? Now, what's your resource you need? So it's backward thinking design some way. So we have that. We also have a project form, we say, which is basically using the OBPE model to articulate a project or program or whatever thing you want to do. Yeah. Spell that out. That way, in my one-on-one meetings, we can use these measures to say, how are you doing? What is your progress? Any support I can give you? Anything you need? So we can check along the way. So at the end, when this is concluded, the outcome most of time will achieve. But for programs that did not reach the outcome, I'm pretty brutal. I'm just saying, we tried.
Mhm.
Maybe one time, this is the second time, or this is the third time we tried this. The outcome you think you could reach, but did not. The data did not support that. So let's just ditch that.
Oh.
Doing something differently.
Yeah.
So that's how I measure. That's how I know they did what library want our librarians to do. I'm in middle management,
Yeah.
Middle management rule is, the thing you do as a middle management is understanding what the organizational goals,
Mhm.
and then you need to articulate that
Mhm.
to the people you supervise. And you also need to report back what works, what didn't work.
Yeah.
So middle management has some challenges,
Yes.
but I think I have enjoyed so far, even though I've been in this many years. I haven't been tired.
Sounds like
I
pretty
think
busy.
it's busy.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding when I see librarians doing phenomenal work.
Yeah.
And then how positive public feedback was. Yeah.
Identify your community's greatest needs.
We have ongoing community engagement, community listening. We have community listening sessions. Librarians are asked to go out, connect with either organizations that serve prioritized. We have a prioritized audience list for our organization.
Mhm.
Either identified. They need to do some research.
Yeah.
Not librarians. They identified either organizations that serve prioritized population, or they contact directly with the people where they live. For example, apartment housing.
Yeah.
They go there.
Oh,
They work with
Okay.
they work with the community members very directly. We have that's expectation of our librarians working nowadays. It's not in the building, not just do book advisory.
Yeah.
Many of our public, that's not a service they need.
Okay.
For people who really need a book advisory, now we have so many digital
Mhm.
databases and digital means that people can self-help.
Yeah.
So we need to use the limited resources to help people who need us most. So the 3 questions that I always ask librarians to ask: who need this service most?
Mhm.
Where are they? How? What's the best way to deliver? So those are the things they're thinking about it.
Oh, nice.
So it's
Could you provide an example of one of them?
For example, the story time.
Okay.
Traditionally we do story times inside the building,
Mhm.
right? But it's like shooting in the dark. I don't know how many people will show up. Some people I do have 60 people. Sometimes we don't. So after I personally attended several community big events, I noticed, especially the low-income apartment housing
Mhm.
area, I saw tons of children.
Oh.
So we
great.
brought this back to
Mhm.
children's librarians and have you thought about doing some story times off-site?
Yeah.
So from that on, we not only doing this story time off-site, we do a lot of programs off-site. For example, we go to like senior housing to teach computer classes.
Okay.
We bring our summer of learning programs into this Mercy Housing, Lake Washington apartment, Concord apartment. Or the Ethiopia Cultural Center. We work with those community organizations and locations where the residents live there.
Oh.
They may not, our program time and day and time may not meet their needs, but they're there, they live there.
Yeah, they're there, so you go to them.
Yeah, so that's a very good example for how we do off-site programs. Yeah.
Or the
The
branch.
greatest accomplishment is handling all those staffing shortages. We have, in my region, I have 2 librarians retired just before the peak summer learning program
Oh no!
get launched. So that was really big. And then in addition to that, we have a great staff. So we hired a temporary summer LA4. LA4 is a library associate 4 who do not have library degree, but we call it paraprofessional, but they can provide some desk coverage for ready reference questions at a desk. So we recruited, we meaning library system created 7 positions. 4 out of 7 came from our region, in addition to 2 retirement. So this year I just have the hardest staffing challenges. And then also, because staffing is short, but the high needs are in our region. So there's extraordinary amount of programs allotted to our region. We don't have extraordinary amount of staffing to do those. So that's very challenging. But I just feel so grateful that everybody who works in this region is just have great attitude. They will just do everything they could, roll up sleeves and come up with ideas how to help each other. And we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
And the community believes in you too with the levy
Oh, yeah.
passing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great testament
Yes.
of the good work that the staff are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a very, I mean, as a management member, we have our own challenges, you know, but I think at the end of the day, I just always feel grateful. You know, the work, it paid off. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I know you're busy, and
Oh,
yeah,
you're welcome.
yeah,
I'm
and
glad that
I learned a lot. So
I'm glad that I can help with your
yes. Yes.
library school work.
Yes. Thank you, Wei.
You're welcome.
Thank you.